This is my What I Eat in a Day Slimming World edition. So I started off with going to group, getting weighed. I did actually have some apple chopped up while I was in group. However, I forgot to film it. When I got home, I had an omelette with some spinach and 30 grams of cheese. Then I had a day of getting all my jobs done, went and got my eyebrows sorted, went to the shops and got a few bits that I needed. I really should have had some dinner at this point, but we were rushing around, so I ended up eating one of these Skinny Crunch light bars as part of my Healthy Extra B. I went to the gym and I did 25 minutes on the treadmill and some weights. This was me wondering if it was appropriate to be wearing my hair towel out and about, which I definitely didn't wear into the supermarket. I got some essential bits and also a pumpkin because, you know, it's that season now and I wanted to get one before they all started to run out. I had some of these chicken snack bite sort of things. They were 3 cents each, which I thought was really good. Although not something I would usually pick up. This is where the disaster happened. So I'd seen in Slimming World that they have the new air fryer book. I tried to make the meatloaf. It just didn't work for me. I don't know if that's going to be the same for everyone, but I wasn't a fan. Had it with some chopped celery and carrot, a little bit of jacket potato and a sin's worth of Flora Light and some cucumber in Greek yoghurt on the side. We do actually like meatloaf. We usually get steak and Stilton meatloaf. I wouldn't even like to think how many sins that's got from the butchers. However, none of us were feeling this tonight. The boys sort of ate it but didn't enjoy it either, so I've turned the rest of it into a chilli. I then finished off my day with one of these quark yoghurts. Again, not a massive fan. I have bought some other flavours to try. This was just half a sin. However, I just thought it tasted quite cheesy, which I guess that's sort of what it is. So I ended the day on 4.5 sins. In the world. I started off with a cheese and bacon omelette using 30 grams of my Healthy Extra A cheddar. We then went for a walk with some family and we decided to have a picnic on the way home as we were in the camper van. I had one of these noodle jars and it just needed heating up on the little gas stove because the water hadn't stayed that warm in the flask. I feel like I've really perfected these now. So I had some of the chicken teriyaki from the other day, miso and gochujang paste as the base for the sauce, and it was just delicious. We all had some chopped up apples as a little afternoon snack, and then for tea we had 2 of the Aldi skinny sausages, which were half a sin each, some Slimming World chips, baby corn, and a tiny little bit of beans. I actually didn't eat much of them, I just wanted a little bit of the sauce. And we had chaos everywhere as usual. My son was making these little models, so the dining room table was covered with all the little clays that he has. I tried another one of these quark yoghurts for dinner. It was the coconut one this time, and I put about 5 grams of desiccated coconut on the top. I was surprised at how many sins that was, so I'm just counting it as 2 sins. And to round off the day, I had a Skinny Crunch and Skinny Dream Bar as my Healthy Extra B. So I'm ending the day on 5 sins, which I'm really pleased about. This is my What I Eat in a Day on Slimming World. I started off with some apple, raspberry, strawberry and yoghurt. Forgot to take a picture, so this is me nearly finished it. For my dinner, I had a salad with carrot, cucumber, celery. I had some of this sliced chicken that I got from Aldi. I think it was like chicken trimmings, and it was awful. It was really watery. I definitely won't be having that again. Had it with some Caesar dressing for 1 sin and 30 grams of Parmesan cheese. I was planning to go to the gym, but that didn't happen, so I had my Healthy Extra B early. I had a Skinny Dream Bar, and for tea I had this fajita steak, which was out of the air fryer cookbook from Slimming World. I wouldn't have thought before to cook steak in the air fryer, but it actually turned out pretty nice. Put that with a sin worth of fajita seasoning, and I put that on some peppers and baby corn too. I just put the baby corn in the microwave for a minute first. I did some courgette in the pan with a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and some plain couscous. Now I could have eaten my leg off if I wanted to this night. I had really strong cravings. I desperately wanted some chocolate, and my partner had toothache and he had some chocolate and I was desperate to eat it. So I thought if I have a little bit, I just knew I wasn't going to be able to stop. So I had a Skinny Crunch bar instead and some Wotsits. Thought I'd maybe go for something a bit more savoury. Then towards the end of the evening, I had one of these ice pops. They're actually 2 for half a sin. I only had 1. And I had a Baby Bell little cheese before I went to bed. So I ended the day on 6 sins, which I'm pretty pleased about. And Slimming World. You're going to see it all on screen. I'm not going to go through it. I had 1.5 sins the whole day. I felt really, really sick and nauseous in the morning. Luckily that settled, although it's come back with a vengeance today and I am not feeling it. I know that I had more than 1.5 sins that I could have used. I honestly think if I'd have started, I wouldn't have been able to stop because I was absolutely ravenous and wanted to eat anything in sight. So I'm glad I just stuck well within my sins, and it's not punishing myself. I think it's just trying to be more disciplined. And I started off with an apple, some raspberries, strawberry and some fat-free yoghurt. I then felt absolutely wretched and had to go to the supermarket, like a little emergency trip, to get myself something that I fancied to eat. I ended up eating throughout the day 2 of these packets of chicken, which are just 1 cent each. Not something I'd usually eat, but it kept me going. Also had one of these skinny crunch bars, and I would definitely feel a lot better after that. Someone had asked me why I'm losing weight quite consistently, and the only thing I can think is that I still weigh things out. So I had my dinner with this chicken that I got from Iceland. I had celery, carrots, cucumber, 30 grams of Parmesan cheese and a sin worth of light Caesar dressing. For my tea, I had another one of these portions of paprika pork that my mum made me, which was really kind, and it was absolutely delicious. Then I had one of these Quark yogurts, the Stracciatella one. Again, I liked it, but I'm not a massive fan of these yogurts. I'm not sure I'll get them again. Then to round off the day, I actually only ate one of these skinny minis. They're actually really nice, especially if you put them in the fridge. However, my husband, Mr. Horn, ate one of them, or had a little sulk until I gave him one. So I actually only ate one, which was 1.5 sins. Pretty pleased with that. So I'm ending the day on 5 sins, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, I had to get myself all packed and organised today because I was going to be out of the house for quite a long time. So I started off with my breakfast. I had apple, strawberry, raspberry and some low-fat yoghurt. I also had an apple that I snacked on throughout the day. I took one of these packets of chicken, which are just 1 sin, and I had to actually go and buy these Alpen bars, which are 2 for a healthy extra B, because for some reason, I'm sure I put them in my bag, but they just weren't there when I went to get them. We then went into Leeds City Centre because they were doing light up the night, and I had a McDonald's. So I just had 9 chicken nuggets and a Sprite Zero. That worked out at 13.5 sins. I was actually really shocked because I thought that maybe a quarter pounder. I was wondering how many sins that were. I think for a double quarter pounder, 37.5 sins. That's crazy. So we watched all the art and light installations. They were really, really good. But I was still hungry when I got home. So I had a Thai-style cup of noodle, which was 2 sins, and the other half of my healthy extra B. So I ended the day on 17 sins. I've realised I didn't actually film my dinner, but I did have dinner, same as always, Caesar dressing, 1 sin. So I didn't think today were too bad. 13.5 sins was definitely not worth it for the chicken nuggets. They aren't anything without the sauce on.